you never get used to, even though you're feeling like another man. There's nothing that you can do for you. Shut me away, you are good. Love is happening, hammer to hand, holding hands in a paradise of power. Even though I'm with somebody else right now, I got you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello and welcome back to First Impressions. This is the show where my co-host Stash Hooper and I evaluate a new album each week with a few simple ground rules. First, must be an album we've never heard before. Second, we're only allowed to play it once. After that, we take notes, rate it in a variety of categories, and let you know what we think right here. So tonight, we're going to be looking at the 1980 album Get Happy by Elvis Costello. And tonight, we have a special guest. Chuk, welcome back.
It's good to be back, man. I love the idea of this show so much. I'll be honest, I'm a little jealous I didn't think of it. So any chance I can get on, I will.
Oh, we're
Nice.
always happy to have you here and talk about some albums. And we talked about it backstage for a little bit. You don't have to love the album to come on this show because if you
Good.
tune in, you'll see sometimes I'm not nice. Where Lori actually thought I hated every album that we covered because she only watched when I was getting angry. And when I go, my best tirades, I think it makes the show more entertaining. Because even my uncle was saying like, oh, I don't watch the ones because I don't want to hear you gush about how great not Jethro Tull, but 38 Special is or something like that. I'm like, you apparently haven't watched. I do not gush. I mean, I'm not going to pretend that I love anything because the whole thing about the show is it's our honest assessments. We're not trying to come in and pretend everything's great. Listen to all the music. No, fuck it. Don't listen to all the music. Avoid some of it at all costs. And we're here to tell you which ones to steer clear of because you can't listen to it all. So we know what Pops thinks of it. He's letting his opinion be known. I don't think I'm on the same level, but this one, it was literally, I was scrambling to get my notes done because it's been a week, it's been a day, but they're done. 15 pages stacked of notes like always. But like I was telling Chuck and Dash, they're 15 fonts. So don't think like I'm making anything miraculous. But I'm also super blind, so it's 15 font, and I zoom that shit huge so I can read it and not be like, is squint time? Let me try to read this and
I'll be squinting.
Yeah, squint away. And I have some notes on my phone because this one, as I was saying also backstage, this is the first album that I truly have played once. I didn't get a chance. I played a couple songs. I'm like, did I actually hate that song? Oh, yes, I did. So I had to confirm, was this song actually shitty or was it just because I only heard it once? And it's like, nope, verified shit. So yeah, I guess getting into spoilers, but you don't have to be nice, I guess it is the moral of the story. But we always start things out with the history of the artist. And this time, last week, I had deep history on My Chemical Romance because I read a book that they were featured in and I knew a lot of stuff. So this week, back to my shallow history, picked right off of Wikipedia with minimal effort, because if you want a deep history of Elvis Costello, I'm sure there's a podcast you can find out there that will give you 3 hours on his backstory, his history, where was he born, what was his mom like, all that. I don't have time for that. The My Chemical Romance, I had already read the book, so time had already been invested. This one, I give you my standard shallow Wikipedia history of Elvis Costello. So here we go. Elvis Costello was born Declan. I don't know if I'm saying it right, or Declan. Probably Declan. Declan, thank you. Declan Patrick McManus on August 25th, 1954 in London, England. And he is a celebrated English songwriter known for his sharp lyrics, eclectic musical style, and punk-era energy, and a lot of other stuff. I mean, he's been around for years and has a little bit of everything. And I did want to research why Elvis Costello, because Declan is not Elvis and Costello is not McManus. So where did that actually come from? And it's a stage name that he created when his manager said Declan's just not going to work. And Elvis was kind of him trying to be cheeky, as he said in one of the interviews that I did listen to. I try to listen to some interviews with the artists before we start, but this one I think I listened to about 5 minutes because I could barely get the time to listen to the album. And Elvis was borrowed from Elvis Presley, of course, and it was to get a memorable name that would make people notice it right away. So he went with a tongue-in-cheek kind of, all right, you want me to pick a new name? How about Elvis? And his manager, yelled at him, called him a cheeky bastard, but it stuck. I mean, now no one thinks of Declan when they think of Elvis Costello.
No.
They think of Elvis, and his name is almost as Elvis Presley. When you think about, the career and legacy he's had, you wouldn't know that his mom wasn't just an Elvis fan and named him after that. Although I guess when he was born would have told you that's not really a possible thing. But the Costello from that was his mother's maiden name, so it does actually have some family significance, not just him trying to be like, all right, you want me to change my name? Boom, Elvis. I'll go for the king of rock for my new name. So it was suggested by his manager, and they wanted him to have a better image than Declan McManus. They just didn't think it would ring in the stage. And I guess if he had the same career he had, we'd be like, yeah, it's the Declan McManus. Why would you change that name? It's just perfect. But, it's Elvis Costello, and that's what we think of him as. And he just wanted to separate himself from the standard songwriter. So he emerged in the late 70s as part of the British punk and new wave movement. And his debut album, My Aim Is True, where he was backed by the Attractions, got him a lot of critical acclaim, got him noticed, sold albums. I don't know album numbers or sales numbers. So if you know, drop it in the comments. But this, like I said, this is shallow research that I did literally this morning. Fuck, I don't have research. So this was the true Scramble show. So if you guys know anything more, feel free to chime in, because this is the best I could get transcribed right off of Wikipedia, and in my own words, so Wikipedia doesn't sue us. We don't need that. So I guess you can have a share of our.
Well, you cited your source. You cited your source.
There you go.
Yeah.
Source cited Wikipedia. So he had My Aim Is True, and then This Year's Model and Armed Forces, 1978 and 1979. And in those albums, you hear punk, reggae, pop, soul, all kind of merged into one. I think of Watching the Detectives, and that one has that big reggae vibe going on with it. And when he plays it live, he even kind of plays it almost dub-like it's a true reggae song. So you hear all those different genres kind of merged into one. Do you hear him on this album? That's yet to be discussed. But yeah, his distinctive voice. I mean, you hear his voice, you can't miss it. You either love it, you hate it, but it's a distinct rock voice. And so many rock singers aren't great singers, but they're distinct, and it works for what they are. I mean, you think of AC/DC, you don't think, ooh, great vocals, but it works for what he's doing. So he's done country albums. I have not heard his country album, but after this album, his next album was a country one. He's done jazz. He's done collaborations with Paul McCartney, Burt Bacharach. He's done collaborations with The Roots. And he's always had a reputation as a strong lyricist. And that, love or hate his music, his songs, the lyrics are always so sharp and biting. And you just like, damn, this guy is a poet, and, just happens to come and make rock songs as well. He's won multiple Grammy Awards and was introduced into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2003. He's still out there touring. I think he announced another tour this summer, and his voice still sounds pretty good. If you listen to the intro, that's from a live recording I made just a couple of years ago, I think in 2022 or 2023. So the voice is still there. I mean, I guess it helps when you don't have a great voice to begin with. You don't have to worry about it deteriorating.
Man.
All right.
This is him holding back.
So I mean, and here's the thing. I don't dislike.
Thanks, Katrina. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Katrina. I love that. So there you go. But that's My Aim Is True. Over 1 million copies sold. And a lot of these have sold more because of the time that they've passed. And don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on Elvis Costello's voice, although I am. I'm saying it works for what he's doing. He is not, you don't think of him as a classically great singer. You don't say like, oh man, Elvis Costello and Adele, they should do something together. So no, you don't want to hear that. But Elvis Costello's voice works for what he's doing. And I listen to a lot of singers that don't have traditionally great voices. He's certainly one of them. But I listen to him. I've seen him live. I enjoy his music, but not because of his great voice. You know, same thing. We talk about it on the show. Early Smashing Pumpkins stuff, I'm a huge fan. Billy Corgan's voice is terrible, but I love the music. And it's okay. You can love the music and not love the voice because you work with what you have. And I could not sing as well as Elvis Costello. I can't sing for shit with anything. Whatever style you try to throw at me, I'm going to fail. But if you have a voice that's kind of middling and you work with it, like, you know, so many rock stars do, you know, it becomes iconic, even if it's not great. Even if you play it for someone and say like, oh, listen to this, and they're like, oh wow, I can't get past those vocals. So in defense, don't destroy me, Elvis Costello fans. I'm gonna be, I don't know what I'm gonna be, honestly. Let's see.
I wrote down, when it comes to his singing, I felt like he sings out of the front of his face. Like almost like whenever he sings, he's got to have his face out there leading. He's projecting, which, you know, we understand, like projecting is important, though not that important with microphones and such.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there's just something about his voice that feels like, rather than coming from his diaphragm or anything like that, like literally all the strength is in the front of his face.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can hear that. And yeah, it's one of those things, like I said, it's not to say his voice is bad. It's just when you think of traditional singers, there are those that can hold notes and you're just like, wow, I'm blown away by this voice. And his isn't one of them. But I think what he lacks in voice, he makes up for in lyrics, because his lyrics are just sharp, biting, relevant still. I mean, you can still hear him. So it sold 150,000 copies. So yeah, we just got that one from Dash. He did a little research, and the one we're going to be looking at tonight, 150,000 copies. And when we talk about the history, we'll kind of see why that was. So let's dig into the history of this album. The album right here that we're talking about is Get Happy. Came out in 1980, and this is after albums with major acclaim. So his first 3 albums, they had critical acclaim. The fans loved them, as Katrina shared with us. Over 1 million copies sold of those albums. And when this album came out, he kind of wanted to do something new. So Armed Forces had a darker tone, and it made him want to try something not so densely layered and not that would sound like his previous album. So he wanted something radically different. So this one, his inspiration, he took from 60s American soul, R&B, and Motown. And you can hear it in there, but it's kind of soul as through the filter of Elvis Costello and the little, you know, keyboards and all that stuff. And he wanted to keep his lyrical sharpness and wits, and wanted to say something like Sam and Dave meets punk poet. That's his comparison. I don't know Sam and Dave, so I can't say if he hit the mark or not. But it has those soul, R&B, Motown vibes, but through his new wave punk sensibility. Hear a little of the punk in there. And he used older instruments, the vintage instruments. Yeah, I think in one song you hear the punk in there. But used vintage instruments and vintage production to try to get that sound. And, you know, when the album came out, we'll kind of go into the lyrics of the album. So it sold, as Dash said, like 150,000 copies. So, hey, Grant, how's it going? And this, one of your favorites. Glad you enjoy it. Whether we agree or not is to be seen, but I think I would definitely not rate it in my favorites of Elvis Costello, but I'll be entirely honest. Although I guess we can wait until we talk about our history with the band. So I'll hold that thought until we get kind of our history. So the reviews of the album, it's always so difficult to find reviews from albums in the 1980s, especially albums with a singer like Elvis Costello who gets revisited over and over again. And if someone posted a negative review, they really don't want it to live out there in the world. They want to hide it from all exposure, so it can be like, oh yeah, we never said anything bad about Elvis Costello. We would never. So it's like they scrub them from the internet, and you'd have to go out and dig out a friggin' microfiche to dig and read the negative reviews if there were any, because they don't want to look bad in his eyes now. But what I did dig up was pretty mixed reviews. They didn't like the stylistic switch. They thought there were too many songs. They weren't wrong. They said they praised it for its energy and experimentation. They praised it for its lyrics, and you can't argue with that, honestly. But they said that, there's too many songs. Some were too short. And now it's been looked at with, the retrospective reviews. And now they're coming out where they're saying, oh, it's one of the greatest albums of the 80s. And they kind of look at it with, they look at it with, we better heap praise on Elvis Costello because maybe he'll give us an interview eyes instead of what did we really think when it came out. But yeah, 20 albums. Some of the critics complained that it was overstuffed, that the songs were too short-winded. So even though there's 20 songs, most of them hit the market under 2 minutes each, or just 2 minutes on the nose. And they found that some of the throwback style was jarring or too pastiche. So it didn't get hugely positive reviews. Now all you can find is positive reviews. So that's why it's always so tricky when you're dealing with older albums, because there's just not a lot to be, there's not a lot that can be said if they don't want you to see what they said. Even Chat GPT, I thought, I'm going to go to Chat GPT and I'm going to see, can it find all the old reviews? And all it found was, these reviews aren't available in their entirety. So even Chat GPT, I guess if they lived anywhere on the internet, they would find them, but they were not there. So yeah, mixed reviews is what I kind of pulled from all the sources. Not loving it, not hating it. Pitchfork, our favorite decimal system reviewers, never actually reviewed the album. So Pitchfork doesn't have anything that they've written as one of their Sunday reviews where they look at albums they haven't reviewed. So if they did, they'd probably give it like a 9.9 and praise it for anything that we dislike about it, because that's what Pitchfork likes to do. Like, what are those things you don't like? That's what makes it good. You guys suck. You don't have enough street cred. They love to rub our noses in our simpleton musical preferences. Like, oh, that's a popular album. It sucks. 1.2 on Pitchfork. And then that's an album that no one would ever want to listen to. 9.8. So yeah.
I will say somebody really upset him. Somebody really, for a lot of these songs, a girl.
Yeah. He was having some shit go down with his relationship. And I think one of his girls was sleeping with an older dude, because we have that uncles, and it's like, oh yeah, he's not happy. And it's kind of like we were talking about when we did Taylor Swift way back. Like, you don't want to piss a person off that can write lyrics that'll just decimate you. Like, you will be taken down and ripped apart. So don't fuck with these poetic songwriters. They will destroy you.
Writers are the worst.
Yeah. I feel sorry for whoever it was, because there's a couple of songs that that person probably never stepped foot near him again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think she stepped foot near him, and I think she would have regrets, because like, damn, because you get cheating vibes going throughout it. Yeah. It's like, all right, you cheated. Yeah. Don't cheat on Elvis Costello. You will not enjoy what happens afterward. Don't cheat on Taylor Swift. You will get destroyed. I mean, don't fuck with these songwriters. They will take you down.
You know what? I'm getting to the point in my life where I kind of want someone to cheat on me just so I can find out what the hell would I say about them. What would that song look like?
That's the cheating song. And yes, that since my wife is watching, I do not encourage any cheating. Since she just chimed in earlier. So, so only weird locations.
It's true.
Good job,
it's
Travis.
true.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why, like, Chuk broadcasting from an undisclosed location, don't
Oh, yeah.
tell the feds where he's at because
He's in
government
Elvis
doesn't like-
Costello's basement right now.
yeah.
Well, I'm on the other side of the border from this little war we got going on, so I can't afford for people to know exactly where I am. And I'm about to talk a lot of shit about somebody's favorite artists, so I
That's
really don't want them to know where I am.
Remember, blame Chuck if our Kate Bush hater is still out there, and I would love that. Watches every week just to yell at me. I mean, Kate Bush
She's
hater,
great.
we miss you. Come back. Yell at Chuck this time. Leave me alone.
Come back for our Christmas special.
Yes, yeah, no, that's gonna be Sharon. That's gonna be Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. That shit's gonna be good. I don't even need to hear it to know that's gonna be a good album. But
yeah,
then I'll get proven wrong. Like, wow, this is Sharon Jones' one misstep. But
I love that it's April and you're already like, I know exactly what I'm doing for the Christmas show.
no, we picked it because we did the album and we were
knew
like,
a
man, this
couple
album
months.
Yeah, it was such a good album.
ago,
We decided we have to cover it. So yeah,
That's great.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to the Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings 100 Days, 100 Nights, as 10 of our YouTube viewers can hopefully attest, it is amazing. It doesn't get the reviews like, oh, I do Taylor Swift, and everyone wants to come on and chime in and tell Dash why he's wrong. But we do an amazing album like that, and no one tunes in. But listen to it; it's good, and hopefully we can do another of her albums and get people excited about her, even though she passed away. It's well worth listening to. So before we start, let's talk about our history with Elvis Costello. So Dash, what's your history with him?
I mean, growing up in the 70s and 80s, he was kind of a staple on a lot of the radio stations and MTV, especially. He was one of those artists that actually got to be on MTV, so he probably paid his money, I guess. But I do like a lot of the stuff that you mentioned after this, the Burt Bacharach stuff. I love the compilations with Burt. And I haven't heard the country album, so now I'm headed towards eBay or wherever I can find it to pick that one up. But it's like I was telling you backstage. It's a good rock and roll album. He's good at rock and roll. I'm not saying he's the greatest singer in the world. He's definitely not the worst. But yeah, I like Elvis for what he is, especially again, being an 80s child. He was a staple with a lot of his songs. So this was one of the albums that I had not heard, and I picked it for a reason because of the sales. That was one of the reasons I did pick. This was one of the lowest selling albums, and I wanted to see, because he like you said, he's won a lot of Grammys, and he's won a lot of accolades, and I wanted to know why this one was the lowest selling. And we'll get into it more when we talk about that. But that's my history. I still love him. I still listen to him today. Over a lot of songs, but this was one I just did not ever get to hear. So
yeah. All right, so Chuck, what's your history with Elvis Costello?
A lot less. So here's the thing: Elvis Costello, I've seen and heard so much of him, like on TV shows and stuff. Like he drops into a lot of TV shows, does little guest things. He was on The Simpsons, Friends, like all sorts of different shows. So I liked his kind of the way he would present himself. It was very self-deprecating and fun. And then whenever I did hear some of his songs, usually they had like that kind of fun ska feel to them, especially like I love the specials. So stuff like that, I was like, oh, cool. And that's kind of what I came in expecting, which I did not get that at all, really, maybe a little bit. But
that's about it. You don't get that kind of reggae vibe that he throws out there in this one. This is it's missing on it.
And so I was expecting a little more fun, and I did not get fun at all. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's not necessarily bad, but yeah, we'll get into it.
So you're saying you did
We're
not
gonna get it.
Happy. He promised us happy.
No. I did not get happy.
Oh, hell yeah. So, Uncle Swifty returned.
Uncle Swifty is back.
Yeah, I heard the shit on Easter because I forgot to bring that Taylor Swift album. I didn't know he was going to be there. You can send me a text like, I want my Taylor Swift. But in his defense, I should have just brought it, but it was hot. I didn't want that shit to get warped in the car if Uncle Swifty didn't show up. So, Uncle Swifty, you'll get your album. We'll take a picture. It'll be a thing. So yes, he was.
We
That's
missed
my
you, Uncle Swifty.
Yes, it's been too long. Welcome back. We're happy to have you here. We'll see if you can be Uncle Elvis as well if you get this album.
Uncle Elvis.
Someone's gonna donate it to you. But yes, Uncle Swifty, he's back. He did not have his Taylor Swift album, and I failed him. I forget. I forgot. I failed him, and for that I shall feel eternal shame. But how about my history with Elvis Costello? I never had a deep history with him. I had the greatest hits. I think that was the one album I bought was the greatest hits. I knew all of those. I had seen him a couple times live. I saw him twice, enjoyed him. He's because you see him live, you're basically going to get the greatest hits, kind of performed in that way. And he's a good performer. He's, someone like Dash said, he's been around so long as a child of the 80s, you can't help but know some Elvis Costello songs. So yes, you call BS, but no, I mean, you can't call BS. Forgetting is forgetting. The way things went for me over the last week, I'm lucky I remembered to show up for Easter. So
don't start me crying again. Don't start me crying again, because
I'll try not to. Oh yes, I will try not to break you. Yeah, I think the Joe Walsh episode, I destroyed Dash and DM, and it was fun. I enjoyed it because my hatred of the Eagles, I couldn't hide it.
Oh wow!
If you haven't tuned in, fuck the Eagles. That's just my opinion.
Go watch the Joe Walsh. That was.
I'm gonna go watch that because I like the Eagles. So.
Oh, I hate them so much. Find out.
That was an hour and a half of me crying, Ed going off on Joe Walsh and the Eagles, and DM instigating things with Joe Walsh fan club websites.
DM was pushing my buttons and trying to get me. He was trying to get me hated, but I guess they realized they can't disagree that I was right in all of my assessments.
Nobody came back at us. Nobody came back at us.
That's so good.
Oh, more 38 Special. See, I told him he thought I would just be all nice about 38 Special. I was equally. No, I was way meaner to Joe Walsh.
You were.
But I wasn't that nice to 38 Special. So that what it comes down to is I wasn't that nice, and Lori was instigating as well. Everyone will instigate when they see me go too far. They're like, "Oh yeah, let's push him too far and get him yelled at by someone." Because
except for blurry Alan Rickman, we love
blurry Alan Rickman. He's the legend of the show. Yeah, that was the inside liner notes of 38 Special. And there's this picture that looks like Alan Rickman, but just blurry. And now he has to come back. So you're like, all right.
He's our mascot. He's our
new show mascot. I need to isolate the blurry Alan Rickman shot and just make that our cover.
And here we are, off the rails.
Woo! All right, yeah. So if it didn't happen once, I mean, I was wondering. I didn't know. This show, I really did not know where I was going to take it. But my history, that's about it. I've seen him a couple times live. Enjoy his music. Listen to the greatest hits. You get kind of what you want from that. I was looking at the greatest hits, and I think only one song from this album actually made the greatest hit. So
which one?
I think it was High Fidelity.
High Fidelity, probably.
If I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's about where I go. So now we'll start with our overall thoughts and then dig into why we feel that way. So, Chuck, what were your overall thoughts on this one? I think we've been hinting toward it, but lay it out there.
As they would often say on Family Guy, no. Yeah, not a fan. I honestly had high hopes. I was excited to do this show because I was like, oh, this is my chance to get to know him a little bit better. This was dead on the wrong album to try to get to know him on, for me at least. Did not enjoy it. And you guys are right. There are some great lyrics. There was one point. What song is it? Oh yeah, for Clown Time Is Over. The only thing I wrote was, can we get an album that's just the Attractions? Like, if it's not him singing and it's just a backing band, dude, that beautiful thrumming bass, just when the band is going, the band is great, and I'm loving the music. But there's times where, and for me, what it is like I was watching along with the lyrics, and suddenly I get lost, and I'm like,
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm reading the fucking lyrics in front of me. How the fuck did I get lost? And it's just because he kind of like mumbles or he stumbles or he jumps around, and he also like a lot of times he's just it sounds like he's talking over the music
Mm.
rather than actually like singing a melody or an actual line that works with the music. There's so many moments where I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing? Like, well, what is this? And it really, I had a really hard time with it.
All right. So
Yeah.
so Chuck's letting it all out. And yeah, I
Oh
wrote
yeah.
that down too. It's like it's almost like spoken word through a lot of
Mhm.
it, where it's kind of
Yeah.
spoken word, and there's a shit ton of lyrics that he's flying to because I have to and again, to the artists out there, include a fucking lyric sheet for God's sake. Don't make me
Yeah.
put this shit on Spotify where it can't keep up and I'm trying to sync it. So annoying. Put a lyric sheet in there.
I did
So
find some though. You know what helps a
they don't
lot?
have one. What's that?
YouTube Music. If you do
Yeah.
it on YouTube Music, it allows you to watch and the lyrics basically go almost like a karaoke sheet. So it helps a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to do it on Spotify while listening to the vinyl, and yeah, My Aim Is True is a great album. I agree.
Yes,
That
that's a
one's great.
fantastic
This
album.
one is less great, and yeah, we'll discuss why. But yeah, I found that it's a pain, and I remember all right last week My Chemical Romance gave me a lyric sheet. Lady Gaga gave a fucking lyric poster, but I'm like, you know what? If I got to sit there and scroll through a poster, at least I'm not trying to keep track on YouTube. So please, bands, I pay good
Yeah.
money for your shit. Give me a lyric sheet. That's
Right?
all I'm asking. You dropped $30 on a vinyl album, at least throw the lyrics in there, and especially when that's what you're known for. You're known for your lyrical prowess. Let's actually let people read it without having to go to the internet and work harder. You got my
So
money. Give me something back.
this is the terrible thing. I actually wrote it when I was listening to New Amsterdam. Halfway through, by the way, just so everyone's aware, halfway through, I was just like, no, no, no. I grabbed a bowl and I started smoking weed. I was like,
Oh
I need
no.
to fucking calm down because I was like 8 or 9 songs in out of 20, going, fuck, seriously, fucking serious. And so I started smoking, and even then, after smoking, I wrote this. Have you ever listened to someone talk forever about something that didn't matter because you were afraid to ask a question and make it last longer? This is the musical equivalent.
Oh, that's funny.
Uh,
Okay, see, I have different feelings about that song. Internet,
Yeah.
this is Chuck's episode to yell at him, and
Yeah,
where's
I'm gonna be.
DM?
Yeah, hit me.
Where's DM
I
to be
actually
like,
like
ooh, let me post this in the Elvis Costello like
I actually
fan
like
group.
New Amsterdam. I
Yeah,
did like New
I was gonna
Amsterdam.
say that when we get to songs I like,
I
I'm
think I was just
actually
angry by that point.
yeah,
I
and
just started
that happens
smoking.
to
I was
me.
mad.
That's Joe Walsh, and I don't smoke, and you know I had no way to escape it, and I even listened to it on a run, and that made me angrier because we talked about Joe Walsh ruined my pace. He made me slower, and that's unforgivable. Don't
Yeah.
make me so angry with your music that you made my pace go down almost a minute. That's bullshit. But yeah, that would be if Chuck were running, but he had the other equivalent of running, of like, all right, I smoked a bowl and now I just feel angry, and that's not
Yeah.
right, not
I
okay. All right,
smoked a bowl and I'm angry.
all
Oh, sorry.
right. So Katrina, I'll be nicer this week because yeah, I think the last time Katrina was watching us was when Chuck was here last time, and we were talking about Gordon
Gordon
Lightfoot, and
Light.
I think
Yeah.
I think I did most of the mean on that one because it made my vision turn 70s, and I don't like 70s vision. When everything starts looking muted and dull, you've lost me. But all right, so Chuck, yeah, Katrina, Chuck was mean, but that's okay because we're not here to stifle opinions. So
No.
what
Yeah.
were your overall thoughts, Dash? We know what Chuck
Um,
thinks. This is gonna be fun when we get to the songs.
I didn't, like I said, I didn't hate it. I didn't like it a whole lot. Like I didn't think it was what I thought it was going to be. It was better than WrestleMania 41, but again, everything was better than WrestleMania 41. Yeah, and you brought it up in the history of the album, and I think most of the reviewers, it was too long. This should have been 2 albums, or I don't know. And when I sit there and saw that it was a 48-minute album with 20 songs, I was like, man, what are they about? 2 minutes, and you're right, it was 2 minutes apiece, literally.
Yeah.
I did like some songs. There were some catchy ones. I did like the tone of the album at times with the whoever made him mad, he was getting back at him. So I did like the tone, but come on, Dash. There was Joe Hendry. Okay, I will give you Joe Hendry, and I will give you Jey Uso. That was about it. Besides, and John Cena looking like an 80-year-old man out there wrestling, but I couldn't see him anyways. So, just overall, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. I wanted it to be more because, like I said, I have a love for Elvis Costello, and I felt like there's a reason that this only sold 150 million copies. There's a reason.
Yeah. You can kind of see why. It definitely becomes evident when you listen to it. If you're going to buy an album, you're going to go get My Aim Is True. Like Uncle Swifty said, that is one of the best albums, and you'll love it. But we've heard it already, and that kind of the rules of the show say we have to approach one that we haven't heard, and there's a reason this album isn't one that everyone's heard. It's not one of those like classic ones that everyone talks about. Oh yeah, you got to dig this out, except for the pitchforks of the world that want to be like, they want to be contrary. Yeah. Like, oh, My Aim Is True is overbloated. This is the real artist. Like, yeah, shut up.
We don't listen to Pitchfork half the time.
Yeah. I mean, I like reading their reviews because they amuse me, because I get angry at them and their decimal system. But for me, I said it's a short runtime for 20 tracks, and yet it feels like a long runtime. Some of the songs are 2 minutes and felt longer than 2 minutes. So the album has highs, mediums, and lows. The lows like emphasize that. And it's an abundant amount of filler for only 48 minutes. When you think 48 minutes, you don't think it's going to have, 15 minutes of filler. But the best tracks I enjoyed. The lesser ones, they didn't leave an impression. I don't feel like I loved them. I don't feel like I hated them. I just kind of felt ambivalent. And that's with one listen. Now, you can say, oh, you got to listen to it again. You got to give it another chance. And that might be true. But with just one listen, the true one listen album, the first one that we've had on this show, I even listened to freaking Kate Bush more than once. But yeah, that wasn't a highlight of my life. But it's this. I played it once. I think some of the songs might grow on me more if I gave them second chances.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
It's just with only once. I think it just didn't leave a mark, and it I kind of listen to it like it just all kind of sits right in the middle. It doesn't rise, it doesn't fall. I don't love it, I don't hate it, and I think. But here's the thing, though: we've listened to some bad stuff, and medium Elvis Costello is still better than Great 38 Special.
Whoa,
38 Special.
So
there we go. And medium Elvis Costello is like fucking glorious, amazing compared to low-level Kate Bush. So yeah, there's definitely worse things in the world than medium Elvis Costello. But
this is about a three Kate Bush. This is a three
Kate Bushes. Yeah. Where our Kate Bush system is backwards. 5 Kate Bushes would be the worst album you'd hear. 0 Kate Bushes is okay. So 3 Kate Bushes is saying like, it's like not quite there. Like, all right.
So basically, the less Kate Bush we have on an album, the more we're gonna enjoy it. Which, actually, I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
0 Kate Bush, and I mean, granted, Dash and I have not listened to any of her albums beyond the Kick Inside, but the Kick Inside Kate Bush is like the 0-star album.
It scared me off. I don't. It scared me off.
So would I want to listen to more Kate Bush based on that album? No. One of my friends said no. That even he thinks that it's a weak album in her catalog, but it's it's just
that one fucking summer where She ended up getting really big because of Stranger Things. I was just
Yeah,
like, you can shoot me in the face
got
and I'll be
this second
fine.
chance, and
That
I
was
and we were talking about it on the show. So yeah, still have PTSD from 38 Special, but that's all
yes.
right. Lori, look at it like this, Lori. We entertained the hell out of each other that night. We were laughing our asses off as I got more and more unhinged. And yeah, that I mean, in the end, if you can get me completely unhinged, then it's a victory. So
I'm
yeah,
sorry
we
you
had a
felt
good time.
PTSD,
We
Lori.
talked about all of the things that we talked about, the 38 specials, how we want to see the country ska band, and come on, AI, you can do this.
I'm starting to notice a pattern here that every time I pick an album, people get PTSD. So
No,
maybe
no, we had like, what was the album? Because we've done a few that it was like they weren't terrible, they weren't great, they just kind of lived in the middle,
they
and
lived in the
that's
middle.
okay. And
You know
then
what? If I'm gonna give some love to this, one thing I did have written in the margins was I love bass guitar, and
yeah,
the bass in this album is beautiful. Like
Beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
the
love it,
Attractions are a
dude.
great
So
band,
good.
like you were saying.
Yeah,
They're amazing.
really great band. If you can, for me, if I could shut out him and just listen to the band, it would have been a completely different
Yeah.
experience.
That's
But I
funny.
couldn't.
Yeah,
I
all
did
right.
not
Yeah,
have near enough weed.
that's okay. This is Chuck's album to release his anger on.
This is where I get in trouble. Yeah.
That's okay, because I'll
You'll
be
get the
kind of I'll be
you'll get
somewhat
the
nice.
you'll get the 8-paragraph dissertation on why you're wrong from somebody.
Yeah,
I promise you, you will get it.
and
You
that's
give
okay.
me as many pages as you want, guys. I can ignore one as many as I can ignore eight. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and in the end, it's not about us trying to pretend we love anything. Because if you've watched enough episodes, you know I will not pretend I love anything. I can't. I'm not good enough at it. People would
I'm gonna tell
people
you, I
would read
can't
it.
lie.
That's why I can't play poker. Like you would read my face right
Yeah.
away. So yes,
I was-
I'm not going to ever be
I was-
on All Star Poker, and I'm not going to pretend I like something I don't. So we'll just blame Dash, like Lori said. But like I said, in the end, if you came and you watched the 38 special episode, you could have laughed and had a good time, and that's what it's about. So if you don't like it, let's at least express why. So I think it's going to be a short night for Chuck in this one, but best songs. I actually had a few that I picked and enjoyed.
Oh.
Dash probably had a few. So let's see. What was Dash? You can go first. What was one of your favorite songs on this one?
Oh well, there were a few and far between. I did, like I said, I did like New Amsterdam, just because I like the story of what was going on there. I think it's about New York City, but and his time in New York City and things like that. High Fidelity, I liked High Fidelity. I would have liked Clown Time had he not sung. That was a really cool musical part for Clown Time, but I think overall there were some other good ones. Beaten to the Punch was all right. And then there was I Stand Accused. For some reason, I like that one. I really like I Stand Accused. Yeah, it was a
Best
great
friends
song.
again.
Yeah, best friends again. Always. Yeah, those were some of my favorites. I'm kind of like Chuck said. There's some times where I wish you could have just listened to the music, but. And here's where I always get kind of weird. The lyrics in a lot of them were really good. The written lyrics were really good. And we all, like you said, we all know he's is a poet when it comes to words. Yeah. But just the mumbling sometimes again, or I'm like, what did he say there? And I had to go back and reread the lyrics after I listened to it because, again, none of us had lyric sheets.
But.
But I really like the lyrics, and when it comes to when we get to lyrics, that's where I'll show. But those are some of my best songs. I just loved I Stand Accused. God, it was such a good song. That's probably my favorite song on the album. I Stand Accused, though.
Yeah. So, what are any songs you stood out for you that you actually enjoyed, Chuck? Because I know there
Yeah,
wasn't a lot.
no, there were some though. I threw some check marks beside some of them. Well, we're gonna talk about lyrics later, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
lyrics
I
is
won't
another
mention the ones
category.
because there's some like lyrically where I was just like, holy crap. I Stand Accused. I wrote, I'm bopping my head. I love the pace, and that harmonica solo was welcomed. They put a nice, mean little harmonica solo in the middle of that, and I was just like, ooh, yeah, 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 more of this shit. And
Yeah.
it's the second last fucking song too. I was like, really? You waited
Yeah.
19 songs to finally put on like just a mean ass, beautiful little solo. It was really nice. I enjoyed that one a lot. Um,
Yeah.
what was it? I Can't Stand Up for Falling Down. Very upbeat, sad
Yeah.
song. Beautiful lyrics about just not knowing how to be happy in love. I really enjoyed that. I remember enjoying that one a lot.
Mhm.
And I'm going to talk about this one um, uh, lyrically, but Possession, I really enjoyed too.
Yeah. Yeah. So for me, let me see. I
Yeah.
picked New Amsterdam. I was with you on that one. Imposter, because it's kind of the closest he got to that new wave punk style that was in
A little
there.
funky funk. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one
I
was
like.
fun. I did write fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked High Fidelity. It had a frenetic energy and an urgency. It's like when it started, it just felt urgent. Like, ooh, this is important. This is gonna matter. And then it kind of builds as it opened. Because that was one of the things I felt critical of a lot of the songs is they just had no build. They just kind of
Yeah.
started at one point and stayed there. And I think that's the thing is there's probably a better single album in here where certain songs were just removed and other
Yep.
songs were fleshed out, and when you take 20 and they're all so short, a lot of them don't get that chance to kind of build
You don't get
and get
into them. You
stronger
can't.
and have that payoff. A lot of them just miss the payoff. And that's one of the things that the early critics did say.
And that's, yeah.
Actually, one more that I just realized that I really enjoyed, Secondary Modern. I
Oh,
found that one was actually, it was one of the few songs that I could actually felt like I could sing along with.
Yeah.
And it was also, I felt like it was the first song I really enjoyed, like all the way through.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. I had my last one I had was Black and White World. It had kind of a very classic rock vibe to it, the guitars and
definitely.
everything. And then it was filtered with his standard style. So I enjoyed that one. I think these songs just needed more room to breathe, and there could have been some real classics, and there would have been more than just a song on the greatest hits. I think it
Yeah.
could have been a stronger album if it were a shorter and less, 48 minutes packed album. When you pack 48 minutes like that, you think this could have been still 48 minutes, but half the song count and been a great album.
Yep.
But it's I think he was coming off of everyone loving everything he did, and you get that kind of you can't do anything wrong vibe. And I think anytime an artist gets that for too long, they just really like, fuck this, I'm gonna do everything wrong and I'm gonna change it up. And sometimes it works. Sometimes you end up becoming classic and you make a classic album that way. I think of Radiohead, and that's a band I
Yeah.
love. I'm a huge Radiohead fan, and they had OK Computer, and at that point they were the darlings of the industry and they could do no wrong. So they're like, we'll show them, and they put out OK Computer, and it got just as much love, just as much buzz.
Beautiful.
But they were trying to deconstruct themselves when they made that album. Like, we'll show you critics, we're going to do something completely off the wall
Yeah.
and completely different. And they thought it was going to backfire and people were going to hate it, but they didn't care because they were making the album they wanted to make, and it becomes their next classic. And that's the thing when a band, sometimes they want to deconstruct and it's just becomes the forgettable album in a memorable catalog. And sometimes you get OK Computer followed by Kid A, and people love it equally for what the weirdness that it brings. So yeah, OK Computer, that's one of my top 5 albums of all time. And Kid A, as a follow-up, it's just wow, these guys know what they're doing. And I don't think, we're not talking about Radiohead too much, but I don't think there's a Radiohead album I hate. Even Pablo Honey has its merits. but
Yeah.
that's just because I'm a Radiohead fanatic, and it's
I like
even
Pablo
in their
Honey.
later career. Yeah, a Pablo Honey
That's a good.
gets hate, but it's got some jams. I mean,
It's got some great songs on it. It does. It has some great songs on it.
I mean, you beyond Creep, but I'm thinking of Pablo Honey. That's the first one, yeah. So that's it.
Yeah.
They,
Wasn't
my
Fake Plastic
Radiohead-
Trees on that one?
No, is that Pablo Honey? Let me see. I think I might be mixing them up. Yeah, Pablo Honey is with Creep.
Yeah.
Fake Plastic Trees would be on that is I'm hating myself because I know these albums. That is on The Bends, which is a
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, The Bends is amazing. So yes, on a Radiohead tangent, but just kind of following that same pattern of you want to deconstruct yourself. You want to kind of blow it up because the critics are giving you too much love and you're not loving what's happening. And you can sometimes make Kid A, or you can make, Get Happy. So we got Get Happy instead.
We did get Happy.
So yeah, you can blow it up and make it work, or you can blow it up and not.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
No, I enjoy this. I'm glad that we're going through this.
I'm really actually happy you picked it, Dash, because it's an Elvis Costello album I didn't know, and I do really love Elvis Costello. So this is one. If it weren't for the show, I would have never given it a chance. And there's some songs that I genuinely like on this one. Now it's a hard vinyl because skipping is a pain in the ass, and there's songs that genuinely make me want to not hear them again. But there are songs that would enter into my playlists on Spotify and things like that. So it's one I wouldn't have visited otherwise, especially with the low sales and, just kind of generally, medium reviews when it came out. But I'm glad I heard it. And it's you picked it because, it's Elvis Costello and it's one we don't know. Because, of course, we could go with My Aim Is True, but we know that one. It's song for song. So you have to pick the ones that you don't know. So I'm glad you did. So now we'll get into lyrics. And that's something you cannot argue, kind of like even Kate Bush. As much as Dash and I were not feeling that album, her lyrics are strong, and you can't argue with her as a lyricist. You can't argue with Elvis Costello as a lyricist, because that man can pack a lot of fucking lyrics in a 2-minute song.
Yeah,
it's what he did.
All right, so Dash, what are some lyrics that stood out to you?
Well, I'll start with my favorite song, and I'll work my way back. I just love this. I Stand Accused. It's another one of those songs where the entire lyrics for the whole song just are fantastic, and start out right off from the beginning. Girl, I stand accused. People say I love you. Yeah, I stand accused. Oh, but what can I do? You belong to some other guy. I hope I never have to testify. So, I mean, in the vein of Jesse's Girl and other. I wish I had you. I wish I had this girl. It's a good song, and I'm not sitting there praising people that are coveting other people's wives or anything or girlfriends, but I think we've all kind of, thought at least about, your friend's girlfriend. Maybe I'm bad, and people are gonna cancel me now. I just got canceled, but from high school. This is high school. I don't do it now. It's high school. But I just love this. Everything about it was good. The music, the tone, the lyrics. I loved it. So I Stand Accused is a really good one. High Fidelity. Some things you never get used to, even though you're feeling like another man. There's nothing that he can do for you to shut me away as you walk through. Again, somebody. He's wishing he was somebody else, because he loves this girl and she's not reciprocating, or she's the one reciprocating and he's not. You can look at it from, I think you can, in this one, you can look at it 2 different ways on who's in love and who's not, and who's reciprocating, who's not. I thought High Fidelity was just but again, the what really caught me is the lyrics on these. And then New Amsterdam, I just, for some reason, and I know they're probably Thanks, Pops. New Amsterdam has become too much too. New Amsterdam, it's become much too much till I have possession of everything she touches. I love the chorus of this song. Till I step on the brakes to get out of her clutches. Till I speak double Dutch to a real double Duchess. So I mean, he's hanging out in the boroughs in New York City and seeing New York City. He's seeing New York City and living New York City is the way I took it. So
yeah, I agree. And okay, so that's why I do this show. We can make 10 minutes. We can make an hour out of anything. Just give us a taste.
we made an hour and a half. We made an hour and a half out of Joe Walsh. We can make
come on.
We got this. We got this.
Yeah. All right. So Chuck, what were some lyrics that stood out to you?
Yeah. All right. Cool. Possession. I love this one. It's about the end of a relationship. Basically, I wrote he makes unhappiness sound happy, but not always in a good way. And then the lyric is, "My case is closed. My case is packed. I'll get out before the violence or the tears or the silence." And I really I love all that. Like, it was beautifully written. What was another one? It was a couple. I'm looking at some of the terrible things they said. Okay. I can't stand up for falling down. I don't think I wrote down any of the lyrics, but I said very upbeat, sad song, beautiful lyrics about just not knowing how to be happy in love.
Yeah.
B movie. B movie had a really good one.
Yeah.
And the spelling mattered too. Is you can't stand it when it goes from real to real, REAL to REEL, too real. You can't stand it when I throw punchlines you can feel. And I was just like, oh shit, this is like the folk version of spitting bars. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh shit, okay, that's really good stuff, man. And then Temptation had one single line that was just beautiful that I loved, and it just says, "He drinks in self-defense," and I was like, "Oh shit!" That all by itself, I don't even need to hear anything else. That one line by itself just spoke so much to me. So yeah, those were the ones that really jumped out. Again, he's an amazing lyricist, but those were the ones that really jumped out.
Yeah. So
B movie. Yeah, I had the same ones from B movie as well.
So my first one I had Imposter, where he said, "Hope you're not disappointed. He's got double vision when you want him double jointed." I'm like, I'm always searching for the weird horny lyrics. And
yeah, you do go after the horny lyrics.
Yeah, that's always a quest, and he doesn't make it hard. And then I was laughing like, "You're lackluster. You lackluster. You're so lackluster." I'm like, only he could pull off a lyric that bad and make it.
I saw that one. I was thinking about that one too. That's a good one.
Like, I kind of cringed when he said that. I'm like, "You're not gonna do it. You are. You."
He did it.
My gosh! Like, no, some bar band would get some shit thrown at him for lyrics that bad, but he makes it work. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so
he Eminem'd it. He Eminem'd that song.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So Men Called Uncle. Now the news prints all over your face. Well, maybe that's why I can't read you like a book. Just when I thought I was getting my taste a bite, or just when I was getting my taste a bite, I go and lose my appetite. So I liked that one.
Told you somebody
somebody
made him.
Somebody hurt you. Somebody hurt you.
Yes. So just like when we were listening to Portishead and Beth Gibbons, like, I just want to give her a hug and tell her fuck that guy. I want to give Elvis Costello a hug and tell him fuck that bitch, because it's he got a shit hand dealt with him in love, but now he's a millionaire, so I'm sure he's fine. Probably got some 20-year-old wife or something. I mean, I don't know. He's been married for a long time.
He's wiping his tears away with his $100 bills. So
right. Yeah.
So now, let me think if there's any other ones that grabbed me. I wrote down a few. Are you ready? Love for Tender, where he says, "Are you ready for correction? Because the wages of sin are an expensive infection." So, yeah, he's and it said he had a lot of political lyrics in this. I didn't really gravitate toward those ones. I didn't see them as much. I think I found one example of
in B-side movie in B movie. I think you could see the different. You know, I think he's comparing America and Britain and the way that they do things different. And I think that might have been what they were talking about. But
yeah,
I didn't see too much political stuff. If that was the case.
So it's the chairman of this boredom is a compliment collection. I'd like to be his funeral director on Opportunity. So I'm like, that's kind of aimed at political figures. I'm like, yeah, that pretty much sums up my feelings for all of them. I'm with you, Elvis.
That's a good point. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So I like that one. That was the one I kind of found that was a little bit political. I know it talks a lot about that, but it seemed more like lovelorn, and like you don't have your girl and she cheated. So yeah, you're feeling that a lot more in this, I think. But yeah, those were the lyrics that grabbed me. So let's get to our next category. And that would be, what songs are we going to skip? And I think we got a plethora on this one. All right. So, Chuck, what are we skipping on this one?
All right. Let me go over all my stuff.
Time to shine.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm going to go over all the things because I wrote down a bunch of stuff. What did I write? Love for Tender, fast paced, feels like he's singing. Oh yeah, it sounds like someone who just doesn't love him back and can't get. Oh no, fuck that. King Horse, least favorite so far. Just a bunch of words strung together with little tune.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Opportunity. I'm realizing I enjoy the music, but not him or his voice. Men Called Uncle. I just wrote. Ugh, I don't get it. Clan Time Is Over is the one where I said, can we get an album that's just the attractions? High Fidelity, I wrote, can you hear me? Yes, sadly I can. Yeah, I was a dick.
We welcome that here.
Oh yeah, Black and White World. I wrote. Did he hear this song before we wrote the lyrics? A lot of it could have just been placed to any music. Like it just, it felt like it ran over the music. It was really fucking annoying. Motel Matches, a slow dance song for hipsters, which I was very proud of that.
Yes.
Yeah, dead on, right? Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Chuck
it's a
is
slow
bringing the
dance
couch
song.
metaphors today because I didn't have any. I didn't get a deep enough dive into this album to bring the couch metaphor. So I'm glad someone brought a couch metaphor.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It's gotta be
Thank you.
show.
I came hard. Human Touch, don't touch me. That's all I wrote. Don't touch me. Beaten to the Punch. I just wrote, I really enjoyed the 60s style of this song. It made it easier to ignore Elvis. And then and that was pretty much it. Yeah. So a lot of them I came at pretty hard.
Yeah. Oh, you nailed it on. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So
I was very happy with that one.
that's beautiful because, like I said, we needed a couch metaphor. I did not bring any, so I'm sad.
That's right.
Oh, so they did. So there you go. Katrina bringing the knowledge. Thank you. So The Attractions, an album for Chuck.
Oh, okay. I would look at that. I'll check that out.
Katrina
I haven't heard it. So
we need our producer, Katrina. Where you been?
Yeah, Katrina.
Right.
We need you in here to bring the knowledge because, yeah, like I said, most of the time my research is very small, very shallow because I got to do it all in a week. Only if I happen to have read a book about a band or love a band that I do deeper. But yeah, Katrina, she's got the deep knowledge. She gave us the album sales.
Yeah.
So yes, you're hired. Welcome to the team.
Yeah,
we pay you nothing but compliments, but we can give you lots of those. All right, so Dash, what are you skipping on this one?
I mean, Elvis, please forgive me. I really would have loved for this to all been good songs. Again, I preface this with I love a lot of the lyrics, even on songs I didn't like, and I know that's weird, but I could pass opportunity. I could pass it, and it would not affect me one way or the other if I never heard it. King Horse, again, that's another one that I would pass on.
Yeah.
God, don't get me started on Motel Matches. Thank you for taking the words that you so eloquently put that I could not have come up with. Motel Matches bad. And five. I know a lot of people probably liked it. Five Gears in Reverse. It's another one of those ones that if I hadn't heard it, I wouldn't know it. And if I had, if I never hear it again, it will not bother me.
You're all right.
It's not. But you brought up a great point there. I wish some of these songs were just on two different albums, and it might have made a little bit of difference, because then and you nailed it perfectly. You don't get the buildup with a 1.5 to 2 minute song. You don't get a buildup, and you don't get a payoff. And I think that's what I've come to respect about a lot of his albums, is you do get payoff in them. And for some reason, this one just didn't do it. So Elvis, I love you. If you're out there listening, I know you're watching right now. I still love you. And you're still a great artist. This album just didn't do it for me, though.
Yeah. Elvis is tuning in right now. I'm sure he's like, ooh,
I know he is.
What do those comic nerds think of my album?
Buy the books. I want to talk shit about them.
So we're gonna be in Elvis Costello's next album called "Fuck Comic Nerds." So
yeah.
Oh yes,
I'm waiting for Taylor. I'm waiting for Taylor to get me back for our show on her. So probably not too long.
I was the nice one to Taylor Swift that night, and then we brought back DM, and I was not the nice one to Joe Walsh or the Eagles. So I was. I gave you guys back. And DM just wanted to get me busted, but Joe Walsh fans, they probably just don't care. They're like, whatever. They're too old to give a shit about anything.
Yeah.
All right. So my skippers, I said B movie. Some of the lyrics were great, but it's almost like he's trying to be make a funk song, but it's like it's trying too many things at once. Again, as Chuck was saying, the band sounds good, but lyrically and kind of how he's singing, it just doesn't work. It can't decide what it wants to be. And my last note was, hey, at least it's short. So I didn't have to suffer that long. Possession, I had that one in there as well. I said that was mid-tempo Megoat. So it earned the Megoat. Something always does. So there we go. Megoat for Mr. Costello and Possession. So let's see. What other ones did I put? I had where was that? Secondary Modern. I know you guys both liked it. The R&B vibe, it just didn't work. It kind of just didn't. Again, I'm waiting for the payoff. They're building, they meander along. He's singing in a weird soft vocal style, and I think that's what was most off-putting to me, is I couldn't get over the way he was singing. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you trying that? It's not good. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Much like my ex-wife would say, it's hard to get a payoff in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And you don't get it.
She wouldn't say that, but still, it's funny.
Oh yes. So I don't know. You might
I'll
be
smoke with you, buddy.
No, he's been sober too long. That's not allowed. I'll bring you your Taylor Swift album, Step Off the Ledge. So
she said, wow, Chuck. Wow,
so
Chuck,
yes,
this album.
Lori.
Not if done right.
So there you go. Katrina's saying 2 minutes is fine if you got your A game. Don't fuck around and you can make it in 2 minutes.
Hey, DM, you are right.
That was 18 tracks.
Ray's right, though. This is just 1 year. after
Yeah.
you hate the 70s. We know how you hate the 70s. This is still
Good
has some
established.
70s vibes in it, so that's probably why you didn't get a whole kick out of it.
Yes.
Good job,
so,
Ray.
Yeah. So so Lori, tonight is someone else's night to shine and be the anger of the show. Tonight, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not
wow.
being that nice, but Chuck's doing my job for me.
Thank
So
you.
I don't have to go all the way. And Katrina, yeah.
I can say this. I have not gotten a wow dash or oh my gosh dash. I've gotten it's Dash's fault, but I haven't got a wow dash or oh my gosh dash. So
there,
I'm
you're
I've-
pandering to the audience. I don't know if that's allowed.
I don't
He's
know.
like, all right,
I'm safe for now.
Lori, Katrina, give him a wow dash for picking this. So yeah. So so good to see you, Chuck. Yes. Lori's gonna offer you her services. She's giving us her services with her weapon to destroy last week's album. So
Oh yeah.
all
Yeah,
right.
I did get an oh come on dash. I did get an oh come on dash. Okay.
All right. So
I
thank you,
I take
Katrina.
that back.
Thank you, Lori. I've got too many because normally I'm the one that's just losing my shit and my mind, but that's okay. If
I was
you're
feeling
tuning
left
in,
out.
that's
Now I'm
what
good.
gets you back here. So, yeah, Led Zeppelin is the 70s, and there's only
Oh
about
yeah.
50% of Led Zeppelin I would say is good. So, you don't want my opinions on Led Zeppelin. That's all I'll have to say. So, I think they have 3 great albums and then a whole bunch of okay albums with some really bad songs mixed in there. So, I
Wayne
don't
from
know.
Wayne's World explained it though. He said Led Zeppelin didn't write songs that everyone would like. They left that up to the Bee Gees.
Yeah, they did.
There you go.
So
That's
yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're gonna do it as Pikachu? That makes it even better, Lori. Because last week's album,
Well,
the Joe Walsh, I only
Yeah.
paid like $4 for it, so it's my $4 will be well spent to see you destroying an album in a Pikachu.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
So disco isn't dead; it thrives in my hatred for the '70s. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Ray.
It's true.
Uh,
And Ray, you got
Ray,
to bear witness to it. So I will. I just mailed a shit ton of Kickstarter packages, so I don't want to mail anything for a little while. That is the world's greatest burden to have to mail a whole lot of packages. I love it, and I will never complain about it, but I don't want to see the post office for a little while. So
Yeah.
man.
yeah, it's like it is the world's best burden to ever have when you got to mail 60 packages out, but it's a lot of time, especially because I write a personal thank you note in every single package I drop in the mail. So it takes me a long time. And yeah, like I said, it's right now I will not mail anything until I have to. But Lori, I have to do this so that at least for one of our summer episodes, we can start our intro video with you destroying it, and I'll play something good and loud in the background because that's what it needs. So yeah, you will. And it's like I said, I will never say one complaining word about anyone who spent money on my book and I have to mail it to the post office.
Yeah.
And I write you your thank you note. It is the world's greatest pleasure to have that as something that tires me out and spends a lot of my time. Nothing but love. So but still the post office gets tired of me, and they get tired of me demanding a receipt for every one. I'm like, no, you will scan it in, but you could have done this and that. I didn't. Scan it, please. So yeah, they don't like me and I don't care. So yeah, let's see what we had. The songs that we would skip more than I would have cared to. I wish we had covered an Elvis Costello album with no skips, and alas, we did not.
Probably a reason we have. This is the one we did. Like I said, this is probably the reason we didn't hear it. It's just
it didn't leave huge impressions on anyone.
Yeah.
And even the early critics that had nice things to say did talk about it's over bloated. It's stylistically, it doesn't know where it wants to fall. So yeah, I mean, now, like I said, retrospective reviews, that's all you can find when you look now. And it's hard because they try to scrub the internet clean of any of those reviews, or if they gave it star reviews, they removed the stars on Rolling Stone. That's their trick. But yeah, it's or I guess if you pay for their stupid platform, that you can look at the stars. But even then, they probably try to hide it. Because they probably gave it 4 stars because Rolling Stone gives everything 4 stars. That's what we've established. Like almost every album we've looked at, whether it was good, bad, or otherwise, gets a 4 stars from Rolling Stone. All right, so we're moving in to our final segment, and that is: are we keeping this one or returning it to the used bin? So go watch the Kings beat the Oilers. Enjoy that, and
Good
I
luck.
watch the Breaker game or the Kings or the Oilers. I won't be watching that, but I hope they win. I know the Mets won today. That's all I care about. So let's go Mets. And Dash.
Thunder won last night. That's all I care about.
So there you go. We all had our victories. So keeping this, returning it to the used bin. What's going on with it?
Elvis, again, I know you're listening. I'm going to keep the songs that I love, like we talked about. This is the one where you take the songs that you love and you put it to a playlist. But I am going to take it to the used bin. This is probably one of the only ones I've taken to the used bin.
Yeah,
and it's hard for me to say that.
That's rare for
But,
you. You were having a hard time moving Lady Gaga to the used bin, and you were not feeling that one. I felt that one more than you, and you were like, I'm gonna keep it for something. So yeah, a rare for Dash.
Do you think it's almost easier to put into the used bin, knowing that so much of his other stuff has like a great place in your favorite albums? Like, do you think when you're able to compare it, you're like, man, it's easy to get rid of that one because the other ones are just so amazing?
Yeah, you're right. And I think that's a good point. The nostalgia part of me wants to keep it because I want to keep it with my collection as far as that goes. But you make a great point. There's so much more good stuff that I would keep that this probably wouldn't even get listened to other than a couple of the songs. But whereas I'm going to listen over and over again to his other albums. And so, that's an excellent point. Thanks there, best friend. You can count on you.
Yeah. And I think about that too. Like when we did Jethro Tull, we did Stormwatch. That's not a highlight of his career. So by sending it to the used bin, you're not saying you dislike the artist. You're just saying this is not his peak. I'm grabbing Aqualung if I'm going to pull an album out and play it. I'm not grabbing Stormwatch. And I kept it. I have my shelf on my record collection that is just the first impression shelf. So really nothing's going to get returned to the used bin because I like having that shelf, and it's growing because this is actually episode 23. We've
23. I know, we're crazy.
23 albums. So that's amazing. And none of it's going to make it into the used bin. And yes, Ray, no fucking chance we're doing Wings Greatest Hits. Just so.
What a dick!
Wait. So I might be down for that. I really might be down for Wings Greatest Hits.
You're trying to break me completely. You want to destroy my psyche. So I'm just going to mumble and drool at the end of the episode. That's what you're going for?
So now we got a Yacht Rock special. We got a Christmas special. Now we got a Wings Great. I mean, it's Ray, great job. Yes.
Yeah, no, you'll get your damn Taylor Swift, Uncle Swifty. I will remove it from the shelf for you. There's only one that's leaving the shelf. I'm keeping that shitty ass Kate Bush album, and I'll at least keep the cover of the Joe Walsh so that when she destroys the album, I'll have the cover to sit on my shelf.
The cover. But I do
not
like
I was going to rip that bad boy out and play it anyway, so nothing gained, nothing lost. All right, so Chuck, what are you doing with this one? I mean, I think you have made it abundantly clear, but say it for the record.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a really cool treasure map that will lead you to eventually finding the PIN number for my bank account. And I'm going to continue to put more and more money in my bank account. And then I will get that treasure map and I will put it inside of this album and I will drop it into that used bin, knowing that no one is ever fucking picking it up. And therefore, no one will ever fucking know my PIN code. Because fuck. Oh,
See?
dude, you have no idea how much I wanted to love this. Like, no
I
idea how
know.
much I wanted to love this.
I do.
And I was like,
I do.
fuck. This is my first full album of his that I've listened to, and it was just like wrong. I'm gonna go. I will go out of respect for you guys and for him. I'll go pick up one of his better albums. I'll go pick up a
Yeah.
greatest hits,
Go with the
and
first
I'll listen
three.
to that.
Go with the first three. You won't be
Yeah.
disappointed. They are legitimately great albums. This
I was
one was
rough.
his chance. This was his attempt at a Kid A, and he failed. So you know, it's.
You are
I
right.
mean, he was doing it before Radiohead did it, but then you think when a band can do it and just like shake the world again, this one didn't do
Yeah.
that. But you know, props for trying, because he could have just said, okay, I'm going to release the same album over and over and over again, and half the world would have been like, perfect. That's all I need. You know, Elvis Costello, My Aim is True, rinse, repeat. I just want that over and over. So yeah, for me, it's staying on the shelf. Lori cannot have it. She cannot destroy it, because there's 5 songs I legitimately love on this album, and those 5 songs I will revisit. Will I revisit them on the vinyl? I don't know, because it's too much damn effort to get to them, having to skip and clunk, and I probably won't be doing that, but those 5 songs make it where it's a keeper. Plus, I have some of the other ones. Sorry, Lori, you will get to destroy an album. Don't worry. You can have Kate Bush.
Boo.
Although Kate Bush has become a legend. I mean, we rate on the Kate Bush system with the
we
zero Kate
do
Bush
rate
being
on
a
the Kate
perfect
Bush
album. So yes, and yeah, we've had some zero Kate Bush albums on this show, and we love them. It's rare that we've had a 5 Kate Bush. I think only Kate
Other
Bush
than
got
Kate
a
Bush.
5 Kate Bush. Yeah. So,
Get happy,
yeah.
yeah.
He was not.
Yeah.
He did not. He decided to name it that, and I'm sure it was, you know, an ironic thing,
Tongue in cheek, yeah.
Yeah,
tongue in
like
cheek, definitely tongue in
get
cheek.
happy, and it's going to be all about my love woes, and you know, all the women who wronged me, and I want to give him a hug, like I want to give Beth Gibbons a hug and say it's all right, man. But I don't think Beth Gibbons from Portishead has money to cry into, because she is so elusive and only tours like once every 17 years. I established that when I was on the fence about buying a ticket to her show last week. I'm like, wait, the last time she played any show in public was 17 years ago. Yeah, I'm going to buy that ticket. I'm not going to skip out on that. And damn amazing show. So I'm glad I didn't skip it. So, and no one talked through the show, Dash. You'd be happy to know. So I didn't want to strangle anyone during the performance. They were actually respectful and really good. So yeah. So Kate's got nothing in her position. So Kate's going to be the number 1 or the bottom. I don't know. I can't say that. I don't want to tempt fate. So I would say Kate Bush is going to live at the bottom for in eternity, but something will prove me wrong. All right. I get it.
And on the run.
I'm still not fucking covering that album, DM. Sorry. It will not happen. You keep pushing me into the 70s.
Instigator.
Yeah.
Ray
And
is
then-
an instigator, and I'm here for it.
Dash, you want to do an episode without him? We'll just you and I will be banned on the
We'll
run.
do wings. We'll do wings.
You'll do wings. I'll just comment the whole time. No, because they don't.
Yeah, you can be the audience.
Yeah, I'll be in the audience, mumbling to myself, broken man. It's over.
Broken man.
It's like it's happened. Like you
it's
picked
awesome.
that last Led Zeppelin album, and that could break me too. I've never actually played it all the way through, but I hate it with a passion. But yeah, I'm trying to remember what
What was the last one?
I forget. It's like it has that dun, 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 that horrible song, and it's all that.
I love that song.
You can
That's the
have
Rain
it.
song.
It sucks. All right.
Boo.
But, all right. So Wings is bad too. Thank you. Someone's with me. So Pops, they're going to cover Wings. You and I are going to stand on the sidelines and insult the album. No, fuck it. You know what? You might have something.
Pops, I was
Ray
waiting
just
for you to come in. Pops, I was
wants
waiting
to
for you to
break-
come in and tell me how bad I was for this album tonight.
No, Ray just wants another repeat of Joe Walsh. He wants an episode where Dash is crying. He can't stop laughing. So Ray's like, let me pick something that will get on that level. And then he'll share it on the Paul McCartney Facebook page and try to get them angry at me. So In Through the Outdoors. That's that album. Fuck that album. No, it sucks. So yeah, but I'm the wrong one.
In Through the Outdoors is
70s.
great. Yeah, you're
So
right. Uncle Swifty,
that's
you're
that
right.
album. You can have. I'll bring it with your Taylor Swift album. It's yours. Uncle Swifty, Uncle Zeppelin, you can have them both. So yes. Oh, is that Pops? He's coming in. All right.
Was that a
Oh, here he is.
What's up,
I was just
buddy?
waiting because I was just waiting for it because I knew when you posted right off the bat that
Yeah.
you were sleeping, I knew you didn't like it.
You guys, you got to remember, right before the show on Pill.net, I actually played the album and I listened to it, and it's very fresh when you guys start. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you poor bastard.
oh, I know it was. Look, when it got to the dude playing the harmonica in the next to last song, I was,
See,
I
Chuck was
was
here for that. Chuck was feeling that.
I was asleep when that harmonica woke me back up.
It got
again.
you back,
And the
okay.
last song tried to put me back to sleep again.
No,
Yeah.
I played it.
Yeah.
I played it last night at like 9:00. I started the album, so it was a late start for me. So Uncle Abler, no, you're Uncle Swifty. You can't. So you're Uncle Abler, Uncle Swifty. We got too many damn uncles in this episode. Uncle, you know what? There's never enough uncles. But DM, Mr. Ray, you're trying to ruin me because you just were entertained and you instigated, and actually it was beautiful. That was one of my favorite episodes.
We're gonna
Ray,
have to get, we're gonna have to
master
get him
respect.
back on Killer Karen again and get him back in line.
Get me back in line.
No, Ray.
Ray?
Ray.
I'm Karen Hunter. Once I finish my comic, the Karen Hunters, I will be back on the show and we'll be battling because that book is coming. It is real. The script is almost finished and it's the most bonkers shit ever. And Chuck will be editing it. So
Ooh.
I guess Chuck, you want a job? I got one for you. It's almost ready.
Oh, I'm in for that. Yeah.
I tried to make it as weird and fun as possible, so I'm ready to battle. But
Have you seen Killer Karen show?
Great.
What's that, buddy?
Have you
Ruin or
seen the
Amber?
Killer Karen show?
No.
Oh my God! Look, we
You got
created
it.
a couple of characters playing Slaughterville a couple of years ago, and they took on a life of their own. Karen,
Yeah.
Lori Calcaterra is Karen, and she is the penultimate Karen, the king of the Karens. She is the Karen. My character was the old stoner dude, right? Dante Sinferno. That's his name, right? So you got Karen
Okay.
and Dante's Inferno, and they kind of took on a life of their own, and now they host a show called Killer Karen.
Karen, yeah.
And I'm out to kill her. I'm one of the ancient guild of Karen hunters, and she's not going to survive.
The premise is Karen is Karen. She doesn't like comic books. She doesn't like artists. She thinks we're like one step above a furry, right? She doesn't. Right? Okay, so she has this lower echelon: Dungeons and Dragons and furries and artists, comic people. We're all at the bottom of her. There she is. She loves no one. That's her.
Karen loves no one.
There she
Karen
is.
hasn't Karen hasn't met me.
Oh, see, Karen, it's an invite.
You
Jack
see,
is ready.
this is the whole thing. What we do is it's a promotion show, but it's a comedy promotion show. You come out to talk about your book. Karen may or may not let you get a word in edgewise. Okay.
Yeah.
Dante will do his best to try to make sure that your comic gets covered at least a little bit because Karen don't like you guys. So I try to help you guys out. Her and I take shots at each other. We take shots at our guest. Our guest takes shots at us. Man, look, DM Ray, he come out. He was hilarious. He came out prepared. He was the first one that caught us by surprise by being prepared for Karen.
Oh.
It was great. It was
Nice.
great. You know, and then Ed comes out and I'm gonna make a comic book.
I wrote an entire backstory for my appearance.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
I didn't
I love
just
it.
appear. I wrote an entire backstory with a history
Yes.
with me and the Karens, and who Dante actually is, and how I'm in an ancient guild of hunters that are trying to take them down. And that Karen is from the final
Yes,
nest
it
of
was
Karens that
Rachel.
must be destroyed. So yes, did I prep a little bit too much?
Yes, it was
Probably.
very show.
Yes,
Oh,
dude, we
he's
have so
still,
much fun.
the show's over and he's still going at it. Oh, I love it.
We have so much fun.
So, yes.
I love that show.
I yelled at Elmo for like 5 minutes and nearly
He
broke
did.
my voice.
He did. I mean,
The whole family was sitting in the other room wondering what the hell was actually happening as I'm screaming profanity as Elmo. So
hey, I have to do the same thing, Ed. I have to tell everybody I'm about to go into character now. Don't freak out when you hear the old stoner talking downstairs, right? It's like I have to get them ready so that they don't start, because otherwise they'll be up to bust up laughing.
Elmo was calling her a bitch and so many other things.
Elmo.
Yeah, so
those some great episodes. Great
It's a
episodes.
wonderful show. Chuck, you got to come out sometime when you got something to
I would
promote.
love that. Yeah, I'd be down.
Oh, that's funny. So yes,
it's like we do the show, we record it because there's no way you can do it without busting out laughing. And we save all the laugh clips and we play them like at the end with the credits, so you can see that it's all in fun, and then we're not really shooting at each other live, right? You know what I mean? Because it is fun. It's a comedy.
It's a blast.
We had to back it off to like once a month right now because Lori's like super busy, and I'm kind of super busy too with getting this Roku thing up and running. So we're only doing it once a month, but I don't think we have anybody booked. If you want to book something, we'll get it. We'll get you a time slot and we'll record something, because it's just go to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, and hit the playlist to Killer Karen and watch Ray's episode and watch Ed's episode, and then come out on the show.
and write an entire backstory. That's a prerequisite. Just like our hate comments need to be multi-paragraphs long, I had to write an entire history. And then it got so big, I'm like, I need to actually write this down. It's like it's like a 4-issue series, and So and then we already established, Katrina, you have a job. You're our editor. You're our new editor and show producer. So you are welcome. You have a job. Chuck got hired to edit the Karen comic. That's, like I said, the script should be ready. I'm hoping next week.
Then Katrina, you have to go watch Killer Karen too, so you know who Karen is.
So Katrina's our show producer now. He's become one with us.
Yeah.
So yes, because she stuck around for the whole episode where we talked about Gordon Lightfoot, and then so Katrina. You were hired earlier. Chuck got hired. There's a job. I'm throwing jobs out right now. I have no money, but fuck it, everyone's hired.
Everyone's hired.
So you're hired, Dash. I'll hire you for something. Actually, no, Dash. When you open your box for me, you'll see I gave you something nice.
A little something else for you guys, Ed, Dash. We are really close to Roku. Okay. Nice. You have a couple shows that you're doing up in here, and I need new intros for both shows, regular intros that you're going to use every week. And I need a 30-second ad for our Roku advertising, because we will be over there advertising before we get there, and we want people to know what we're bringing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a 30-second ad about first impressions and your other show. Okay, and new intros for both shows that are Roku professional. Something.
I will recruit my daughter, who's hoping to be a YouTube content creator, and she did my. If you saw my Facebook or the Facebook trailer for Immortal Era, she did that, so she can do this, and we'll make it good. So Ray, you're in charge of pissing people off. You're hired. I'm throwing out jobs.
You're hired.
I was gonna say, it's up to you. If you do need help, we do. The guy from the ID show, Tim, he's a rapper. He's made his own music videos. He knows production. He's real good. We got somebody that'll help you out if you need it. Let me know. I just want everybody to be ready.
We'll talk off air about that, because I'll get working on all that stuff. So.
It's that close, guys, that I'm coming out on people's shows and going, "Hey, get ready!" Because
you've seen my fifth grade level video production, so I will definitely recruit other help.
You went all in on the intro tonight. That was awesome. The intro. For
Yeah, I mean,
tonight's show
live
was
clips,
fantastic.
YouTube doesn't find them, so it works out beautifully. If I have actually recorded a live recording of the band, I use them, and YouTube's like, who's that? Like, haha, snuck it past you. Take that.
Till they look at my channel, then they find it.
Well, that one, no, the live clips they haven't found yet. So I've only done it 3 times. The one that they did find was actually it was one of the freeware ones, and they flagged it. So I don't know.
Yeah, they'll flag free ones. Pop up.
Yeah, that's what they got. That's what they went after us on. And I forget other people can put the comments up because I'm like, wait, I'm not touching anything.
I'm doing it.
No, that's I was telling Chuck it's been a day, so I barely made it on this show with any actual prep. So
Chuck, you're still doing never mind furthermore.
No,
You're not.
no, I'm not really doing anything right now.
Oh, okay. When you want to, let me
I'm
know.
editing my book.
Bro.
We can, you know what? We can talk, man. I'm just getting out of a slump, so I'm slowly getting myself back together again. I've begun working again, and I'm getting a bunch of books out there and shit. So yeah, man. When it's time to start podcasting, you and I'll sit down and have a chat.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I just expansion. I want to make the biggest splash as we can when we launch over there.
Oh, I feel you.
You know. And yes, Ray, we know you are the poo-poo stick papa.
Wow.
We know.
I
We know.
can't.
That just has so many bad implications, doesn't it?
I'm
Oh,
just
man.
crying
Papa
again.
poo stick. That could be that has so many bad implications, dude. Just you might want to tone it back a little, Ray.
Y'all make me cry.
All right, so I am gonna we gotta wrap things up because I smell dinner cooking out in the living room. So we got some. Ray's gonna go to bed and not instigate, but no, Ray, we love your instigating. You're welcome. When we send our next batch of shows, you can take a look and see if any of the albums are ones you'd like to join us for. We will finally be getting to Pops's Elf album, but do be aware I fucking hate the 70s, so there's odds are I may not be that nice.
But nobody knows who Elf is. That's the wonderful thing about
that'll
this.
be fun, and that's what I'm looking
Can I
forward
tell
to.
him? Can I tell him?
Yeah.
Did you say Elf?
Yeah.
It is Ronnie James Dio.
I know who Elf is. Yeah.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
we'll be covering Elf,
Yeah.
and it's Chuck, if you want to join us for it, and if
Yeah.
I insult it, Pops doesn't mind. He lets me go off on tangents, and even if I don't like the band, and here's the funny thing, Pops was probably ready to hate My Chemical Romance, and he's like, you know what, this actually wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
He was pleasantly surprised that it was. You're ready to this is dog shit. I'm ready to rip it. I'm like, never mind. I enjoyed it. So I was surprised. That was a rare endorsement from Pops.
Let's do
I was
it,
ready for you
Ray.
to truly hate that.
Do it.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, look, guys, I'm a Rush fan. I'm a professional musician.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? I'm
Yes.
not a rock star fan. Okay, you got to be damn good to get my attention.
Yeah.
Okay, period. I don't care who you are. You know, it's the way it is. So, yeah. I got another one for you, too, later on. We'll
this whole
we'll
batch
give you
is
some
all
early Zach Wild later on.
okay.
We'll give you some early Zach Wild.
We'll take your requests. This next batch is primarily requests, with exception of the ones where we actually have the bands coming on and the
Right.
bands. When
Did
we get
you,
bands,
Did you talk to Pete from Lunatic Fringe?
No, we have other bands lined up right now. We have 2 bands lined up. When we do our next batch, I'll do it. But right now, I reach out to 4 or 5 bands a day on Instagram and trying to just get a good.
But these
batch
guys
of-
will do it. Just hit them up. They'll do it.
Yeah,
They
But
have
they're- but
comics.
see,
They have
well-
comics and music.
yeah. When
The
we're
music
running
with
low,
the comics.
we will
It's
hit them up. No insult to them, but they're already guaranteed. So we're trying to get ones that aren't guaranteed, that have kind of bigger followings on Instagram. We're looking at 5 to 10,000. So that's the goal. All right.
Seems
So
about right. That's about their wheelhouse.
okay. Well, I will hit them up right now. I have to pre-plan everything, but like I said, I'm smelling.
And go
dinner.
eat.
Go eat.
We are gonna wrap this up.
darling.
Chuck, thank you for joining us today. But before we close things out, let me talk about next week. I'm excited for this one because I have never actually heard this album. I guess that's the rule of the show. But we will be digging in to Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. I have never heard it. It's something I know I probably should have heard. I should have listened to. And I am very excited. So, yes, I got to eat dinner. And
hey, you listen to this one next week with a female, guys. You listen with a significant other.
Yes.
This is like Barry White stuff.
Yes, it's gonna be good stuff. I'm already excited, even though I haven't heard it, because it's kind of like when we did Stevie Wonder. We're remedying albums that we should have heard by all rights and accounts, and we're hearing them now. So Dash and I get to experience it, and
we're correcting our wrongs.
We're righting the wrongs because what I heard would have been what I would have listened, what my parents would have listened to.
Playing Kate Bush was writing anything, but you guys go with it.
Oh no, but you have to admit
that was entertainment. That was entertainment.
That was a damn fun episode. You were entertained.
No.
Anger.
No. The episode of the review was wonderful. Actually, listening to that trash was bad. You guys forget. I have to go listen.
We were right there. It cleared the living room in my house. No one wanted to stay and listen to it. So yes, it was. There's my wife sending a heart, and that heart is saying, "Get your ass in here for dinner." It's like, yes,
come eat your dinner.
Yes.
How long? How long do you think we can keep him here, guys? Hold on.
All right, so we are going to wrap things up. Chuck, thank you for coming on, and Chuck,
bye, best friend.
Thank you for being the enemy of the show. And
I'm glad.
If you want to take control of the rest, play our sponsor ads so that I can head out and get dinner. Yeah. I would thank you for that. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week we are coming in with Marvin Gaye. It is going to be amazing. We will not be talking shit, I guarantee, because just knowing what I know about him, although I can't guarantee anything, I don't want to make any promises to you. But Ray will be there. If I'm not liking it, Ray will be in there instigating and posting it on every Marvin Gaye fan site. So, Chuck, thank you for coming. Dash, another great show. Thank you for,
as always,
joining me on this journey. And next week, we are actually on our last two albums of this cycle. And then it's all requests. We're going to hit your requests. We're going to talk about flamingos in that next batch of requests. We're going to talk about bears and sharks. It's going to be epic. Tune in. Don't miss it.
We have a Spanish album.
Yeah, we have a Spanish album. So we're going all over the spectrum. It's going to be amazing. And I will not shut up. So it's time for me to shut up, bow out. Pops is going to take care of the promotional stuff for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Chuck, anytime you want on, you are welcome. And
I'll be back.
Shut up, baby. Buy it.
Yes.
Look,
Bears and sharks, Lori. I said bears. It's going to be epic, and we'll have the band on.
Bears.
Don't miss it.
I need
bears and
everybody
sharks.
to stay tuned for at least the first ad that we play, because it's a little caring.
All right. So
it's a little caring.
All right.
Have a great night, everyone. I will see you next week as we talk about Marvin Gaye.
Yeah. What's going on?
Hi, this is Eddie Deason. Listen to the Madness Group, the greatest podcast on radio. I love the podcast. The Madness Group is my favorite show. I listen to it all the time. This is Eddie Deason saying hi on behalf of the Madness Group.
I just want y'all to know, Eddie knows this is not a podcast. He knows we're on YouTube. He told me flat out, I'm not going to say what you want me to say. And I was like, just go, bro. It was awesome. Hi, everybody.
Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Tin by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland, issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
I'm Man Ray from SpongeBob, and you're watching us on Madness Comic Network.
It's Flip City Magazine, The Parodies, Special Edition, with savage send-ups of The Walking Dead, Star Trek Picard, Stranger Things, The Mandalorian, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more from the first 4 years of Flip City. Get Flip City The Parodies free when you subscribe in print at flipcitymag.com. The world's best satire magazine, and never, ever woke.
I am Bo-Katan, and you are watching us on Madness Comic Network.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens day.